Hi, today we are going to discuss about the handling of fire disaster. If the fire is used controllably, it will be a good slave. If it is going beyond our control, it is becoming a bad master which will create havoc and end up in a great disaster, creating monetary loss. As far as hospital industry is concerned, patients are there and they too need to be taken care. There may be life loss if we are not addressing this at the initial stage. So it is very important to know about the disaster, how it occurs and how to control it and how to avoid totally having a fire disaster, because it is easy to take small steps to avoid such type of disaster than addressing it after it is created. So we will have to discuss from that point of avoiding that is preventive method. The fire is a major element without which we cannot live. At the same time, there should not be any accidental or uncontrolled fire to exist. We need to create or sustain fire three components, namely fuel, oxygen and heat. Fuel is anything which is flammable at certain temperature, and the heat is the energy by supplying which to the fuel increases the temperature and due to chemical reaction creates fire, and oxygen is fed to sustain the fire and the fire grows. Oxygen also supplied to increase the amount of fire, which combined with heat and fuel rapidly makes the fire to spread. To avoid this, we have to take care while storing material which will be used as fuel during any accident, which turns to be a fuel. Any material stored to be stored in a right place with right atmosphere, and we should take care that how far it is flammable, at what temperature it can turn into fire. Keeping that in mind, while storing, we have to take note of the temperature around that, and we should take adequate preventive measurement to avoid or to address at the early stage if at all any accident fire occurs. And first thing, as we said, three components required. Oxygen and heat is a universal thing, so there is no classification can be made, but whereas based on the fuel we can classify the fire as class A, class B and class C. As far as hospital is concerned, these three types can be classified. There are other classes when you talk about external industries and households, but whereas in hospital we deal with these three types, and we have all sorts of first aid fire equipments to address these three types. First of all, let us see what is class A fire. Class A fire, as I said, based on fuel involved in burning, it is any solid fuel like paper, wood, carton box, plastic, cloth, cotton, etc. is called class A fire. When it burns, it turns into ash. Due to the state of the material, it creates more heat when it is burning, and that heat keeps spreading to the other equipments, and that also absorbing the heat, thereby increasing in temperature, other material also catches fire. So to avoid this, we have there are three methods we can avoid. One is starving method. When you notice a fire of class A type, you have to separate the unburned material around the burning material as far as possible, remove them, and thereby you deny the fire more feed. And by using our extinguisher, first aid extinguisher, we can have suffocating method, that is smothering effect, denying oxygen supply to the fire. And there is another method by reducing the temperature around the burning material where the fire occurs, that ambience temperature can be reduced by using certain extinguishers, thereby reducing the temperature below the ignition temperature, and the fire will be put out, and ensure there should not be any smoke even after putting out the fire. If there is smoke, there will be a chance of fire reoccurring. So ensure that fire is totally put out and there is not even smoke exists. As far as class A fire, that is solid fuel when burning, here we can use the extinguisher ABC, DCP ABC, that is dry chemical powder monoammonium phosphate, which can be used on A class, B class and C class fire. Now class B fire is a fire in which liquid or gas is involved as fuel, like kerosene, petrol, diesel, paint, thinner, LPG, O2, etc. When these type of fuels are highly vulnerable and it is highly inflammable, at lower temperature it gets ignited and it expands as a fireball and reaches to far and far places if uncontrolled, and it will not spread in one direction, it will be spreading very fast in all directions. So we cannot reach very near to the fire at times, so need to address with special care, in which water will not be all that effective. For class B fire, this extinguisher, that is carbon dioxide, CO2 it is called, is effective, and we can identify the extinguisher by this cone arrangement. Wherever you find this, you can surely say it is carbon dioxide, CO2. This is effective on liquid and gas fuel, and also very safe for class C fire, that is electrical fire. Electrical fire is the one where the equipment, electrical equipment or the medical equipment connected to the power source is on fire. It is due to short circuit or poor maintenance, there may be a fire starts and the equipments burn when it is in connection with the running power supply. So there is, if any other material used which may be conductor, will result in electrocution, whereas this CO2 has no moisture content and it is lower temperature when it is released, and it denies oxygen, the air, it is pushing the air out of the ambience and occupies that space. Carbon dioxide occupies that space, thereby extinguishing fire without we are directly getting into contact with the fuel, that is electrical appliances with the supply. So thereby we are avoiding the electrocution. Now we will see how these things are being operated, and finer points we will see. As we discussed earlier, we need three components to create and sustain fire, that is namely fuel, heat on fuel, then oxygen to increase the fire. All three if combines, only fire will be created or sustained. Either of that is removed, there won't be any fire, or the existing fire will be extinguished or controlled as per the quantum. Now we are having only the first aid fire equipments. Our aim is to not extinguish the fire, we have to try and confine the fire. In that process, if the fire is extinguished, there is no harm, but don't keep trying beyond the source what you are available, because your safety also requires. Any disaster management, the prime aim is to avoid life loss, that is zero life loss, and maximum amount of saving the life and property, and we should not lose any life. Even the person who is trying to save others or who is handling the disaster, he should also be safe and to come out alive. So always remember, try to keep your safety in the mind and act. Now that all the three, that is in a, we call it a fire triangle, fuel, oxygen and heat. If either of that is removed, like fuel, if it is removed, that is called starving method, and if the carbon dioxide is supplied to deny oxygen supply to the fire, that is oxygen is removed from the ambience, is called smothering or blanketing method. And when you are reducing the temperature at the ambience where the fire is occurring, and thereby you are reducing the temperature and you are making the ambience cool, this method is called cooling method. Now how it is applied, how we can address the fire, we will see practice. Now you see, this is DCP ABC, dry chemical powder for all fire, ABC, and this works on pass method, pass, PASS, pull the safety pin out. Without pulling you cannot release the extinguisher. However, you press this knob, nothing will be released. So you have to pull the safety pin first, and after that you find the discharge pipe is secured here with the knob. Now you have to remove the discharge pipe from the fastening. Just put your hand in between the cylinder and the tube, and just with a jerk bring it out and wrap it around with your finger, keeping your thumb pressing downward at the far end of the pipe from you. You should not catch it very near to you, which won't have that effective. And when you catch it at the far end, you can cover greater area while addressing the fire disaster. You will have better confining rate. So you have to hold it at the far end of the tube. Very particularly it is being told because it has effectiveness. Small thing will save the resources. It will be used effectively. Now after pulling the pin and removing this tube, now aim at the base of fire. Normally we tend to think the base of fire is the bottom of the flame. It is not the bottom of the flame where it meets the fuel. If you apply the force there, the fuel will fly over all the places and it will create more havoc. So base of the fire means from the fuel or at the bottom of flame, from the bottom of flame, aim at about 3 to 4 inch above and discharge the extinguisher, thereby not creating much force on the fuel, thereby rendering the fuel to fly all over. So remember, while applying this extinguisher, just aim 2 to 3 inch or 4 inch above the flame, above the bottom of the flame. After that, squeeze. Now I am not squeezing, just you have to squeeze this and release the powder. Then you sweep. By sweeping action you make an arc, because the fire spreads in circular motion. You are making an arc opposite to that, and that arc controls the fire within a certain area, thereby allowing people to get out of that area. You are making the fire to be confined to a smaller area. So this method, very small techniques, render you to address the fire with available minimum source effectively. Now we will see how to operate carbon dioxide extinguisher, CO2 we call. We can identify this extinguisher by the cone arrangement which is provided to discharge carbon dioxide. And now this is very small and 2 kilo in quantity. So this can be handled easily, and the same arrangement for discharging the extinguisher available. In 4.5 kg it is little bigger, and we have coiled rubber tube. And while handling we should take little precaution, and we should be concentrating on small techniques by which we can effectively use, and we can control the fire with available minimum source. So now I will show the 2 kg how you can operate further, sir. And now this is the safety pin. Now you pull the pin out and try to open it. Initially you may not open it, it will not be all that easy to open because of the lower temperature available inside. It makes the metal mouth to contrast. So try to apply, keep the cylinder down and put the cylinder between your legs and try to open it with 2 hands. When you open, it will open. When it opens, immediately close it, so that you are not wasting your resources, and carry the cylinder through to the location where the fire is there. And then after reaching there, you can open it fully, you can open it maximum, and you will have to show the horn towards the fire, little facing downwards. So this is very important. Don't make the horn to face straight or upward. It should face downward to discharge the CO2 down to the flame where the fire is there. Thereby it is removing the air from the bottom and occupying that space and expanding, and furthermore pushing the air around the fire and denying oxygen supply to the burning fuel, and thereby it is extinguishing the fire there, or we can control the fire within a specific place. we will deny the fire to spread to a larger area. Now this 4.5, it's larger in size, but now this tube, don't try to remove like this because it will be difficult. So it is in a coiled way kept in that. Now put your fingers here, both the by the side of the wheel, and remove that. Remove the tube above the wheel and leave it. Now it is very easy, and straighten the tube. If you are leaving it to coil around, or you are leaving it to bend, when the carbon dioxide released, it is coming in a very low temperature, which will make the tube to be rigid, and it will not be easy to use that near the fire. The sweeping action will not be complete, and we will be ending up wasting the fuel due to limited maneuvering. So try to, after removing that, please extend the tube to the fullest, and after that remove the safety pin and try to open this. Normally it will not be all that easy. Again, put the tube down, straightening, and put your cylinder in between your feet and try to open it. When it opens, immediately close it, then carry the cylinder near to the fire, and then keep the cylinder down. Now you open with your one hand, it will open, and address the fire by keeping the cone downwards and making a sweeping action. While doing that, keep one of your free hand little bit to feel keep your hand over the cylinder to feel the cylinder's movement. When you are totally concentrated on controlling the fire, the cylinder may fall down. You will be getting panicky. When you are keeping one of your limb on the cylinder, the limb will feel immediately. You will adjust the cylinder. Your concentration also will not be disturbed. So you will be having confidence. If you automatically, what we tend to do, we make it comfortable, and we will pull the cylinder little bit towards us, so that we can address the distance without creating any accidental fall. So this is very important, small things to be taken care. So now we will demonstrate how it will be done during fire. We will be having a live demo. Now we can see the water is added with fuel, that is diesel and petrol. Now this is diesel we are adding to the water, and for faster ignition we add little bit of petrol, that is also liquid fuel. Now we will see that it is burning and it cannot be extinguished with water. So ignite it. Now this is water, we are having water, and by water we cannot extinguish the fire. It will not be extinguished. By putting water we are unable to extinguish the fire, whereas now I told remove the pipe. Now you see pin is removed. Now we will have to hold at the now the extended pipe makes us to address from a distance. We can have sweeping action. So this is the way we will have to use the CO2. So there is only there is no water vapor available inside the CO2. This is effective also for electrical fire. Now we will have to remove the pin, rotate hold the discharge pipe straighter, aim the burning fuel or the flame at the bottom, that is a base, not at the bottom, base of the fire, and release the extinguisher to its full maximum force, thereby extinguishing and denying the oxygen supply to the fuel. You can extinguish it even, but in real situation we are expected only to confine the fire, not to extinguish. If in the effort of confining the fire it automatically gets extinguished, well and good. Otherwise don't keep trying. When everybody is out of that room, that is evacuation is being made, please leave the room. Even if the fire exists, close the room, and if possible all the windows, and quietly go out of the room and let other agency expertise to take care of the fire. So we have already discussed how fire is being created and how to avoid fire and how to extinguish or confine the fire by using our first aid fire appliances, that is DCP and CO2 as far as this hospital is concerned, and types of fire, everything we have seen. Now let us see, when we notice fire or smoke at any place, what will be the reaction, what we should supposed to do. And first thing is that a race, we call it race, RACE. R stands for rescue, then A stands for alarm, then C stands for confine, and E stands for evacuate. Now we will see in detail. When you notice fire or smoke, since it is hospital, you will be with people, or you may be alone, and wherever you are there may be patients and other clients. So first thing, we should know all our topography, where all the escape routes are there, and where we can lead the people to safe assembly area. All that location we should be knowing by palm of our hand. So we will have to keep moving to place to identify these places with purpose. And when we are having that confidence, we can lead the people. When you are noticing smoke or fire, first thing you should do is, if the fire is dangerous, if the smoke is coming, then it may turn into fire. You don't wait for anything, because you have only 3 minutes from the inception to effectively control any fire. So immediately you rescue the person near to the occurrence of fire or noticing of smoke. Whoever may be, you vacate them to a safer distance. If the patients are to be removed, they should be placed at the temporary outage area, that is our corridors and lift lobbies. And after that, you will have to remove the person very near to the fire, and to the left of the fire occurrence place and to the right of the fire occurrence place. If there is 3 beds, the person who is near to the fire, that person's bed, and to his left and right, other 2 beds to be removed, to ensure that we have enough time to address the fire even if it is spreading without affecting the other occupants. That is called rescue, the immediate removal of a patient or removal of people from the occurrence of fire. And next is alarm. Alarm means announcing the whatever situation prevailing here and announcing it to the community. Whatever emergency is there, we are announcing the community, this emergency exists here. How we will do it? Escalating matrix is there. How we will escalate the situation? By announcing. First of all, we have 3 methods we can do. One is by calling 222 through extension. We have fire emergency number is 222. You have to dial 222, and when the phone is answered, you will have to say code red, floor, location, and if you can say what is burning, that is class of fire, class C or whatever it is, and again code red, then inform who you are speaking and ask the person who is receiving the message his name, and place the phone. Remember these names, and if you want you can note it down. Taking few seconds will not harm any of our operation, and coolly and calmly we have to operate. And after that, after alarming, after rescue, you have informed them through phone. There are other methods also. At times the phone may not be serviceable, or there may be the person at the other side may take time. So in such case, don't get panicky. You can ask someone to go to main lift lobby or fire lift lobby, whichever is fire stairs, whichever is nearby, to operate manual call point, which will be shown to you in this video. And by operating that, the alarm will be activated. The alarm will be heard in hospital all floors. So on hearing this, there will be a display in building management system where it will be showing the floor and the MCP active. So after noticing this, response team will reach the location. When you announce through phone also, or when you operate that MCP also, community will get alerted. And third method is that if any security is nearby, ask and use their walkie-talkie to announce the code red. Only in that you have to say code red, 8th floor, and whatever your location and your name. That's all. The person who is receiving not required, because there are so many people who hear that announcement and one or the other will vouch for your alerting. So now after through phone, when you are informing the person about the fire situation, that will be announced on public address system to everyone to hear, and on hearing this, central command nucleus, that is senior management, will reach the location or a designated place to decide on the next course of action based on the inputs given from the place of incident. And response team members also reaches to a designated place to be directed as a helping hand to the incident location. So this is how we have to escalate, we have to seek help, and this is alarm. Then by doing this, you have to reach nearest fire point. We have fire extinguishers in our main stairs, near the main stairs, near fire stairs and bed lift lobby also, and at what you call, we even placed fire extinguishers on corridors for people to notice, and you can use one of them, you can pick one of them, one or two as required, ask other people also pick up and take as for greater number as possible to be used at the fire location. Now you can operate the extinguisher on the fire and confining the fire within that limit. By this time, the other people will, those who are available, the other people will evacuate the whole floor or the whole wing or the whole particular room or ward. So this is called evacuation. Race, again I say, rescue the person at immediate danger. Then alarm, announce the community that you have an emergency, help is needed, and confine the fire. Whatever fire is there, confine it for the people to have time. By denying the fire to spread, they can be at peace and can plan for evacuation and evacuate the patients and other occupants. That is called RACE, evacuation. Then after evacuating, you can take the patients or attenders based on their state to the safe assembly area or to other ward. This will be done in coordination with other agencies through CCN, Central Command Nucleus. So all your informations or changes in state to be informed to Central Command Nucleus, and the instructions to be taken from there, and one of your team members in the team to take control until some senior takes full control. You have to coordinate the operation and to have smooth addressing of the disaster.